Good evening and welcome to the SMG News Network, where we only report on the most positive stories in our community. I'm your host, Juan Miguel, and today I am joined by economic genius and my colleague, Tom Brokass. Tom?
Muchas gracias, Tom Miguel.
Yes, we've seen some pretty interesting trends uptick in these hard times. The main one that I thought was very interesting was praying mantis breeding, which has seen a 31% increase just in the last 3 weeks alone. Frisbee disc engineering. You might not think it's something that people do, but believe me, they do it. We have also feral cat sitting, which does require a thick skin, literally, and if you're up to the challenge, it pays a lot of moolah. One of the top investments is Facebook therapy. There is so much money to be made with all these new Facebook therapists posting, and they need resources, and they are looking to you to get those resources. You can find all of that information and more on my website, tombrokass.com, including investment tips, employment resources, and my favorite ice cream recipes. You can subscribe to the newsletter for only $73 a week, and you will get everything you need in order to survive in these trying times economically.
Back to you, Juan Miguel.
Mr. Brokass, valuable information. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after a brief break and this word from our local sponsors. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the SMG News Network. Lately, with all the negative things going on, every time you turn on the news, we thought it was imperative that we start a news broadcast that only reports on the positive things going on in our community, everything from entertainment to entrepreneurship to just the feel-good stories. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest in studio, our good friend, Buddhakai. Buddhakai, welcome.
Thank you, Jeff.
So today we're going to talk a little bit in the entertainment industry about Mr. Buddhakai, who has an incredible story, who fought from addiction, found God, and became an incredible musician, becoming extremely successful in life. Buddhakai, share with us a little bit of your story on how old you were when you became addicted to drugs and how long it took you to actually overcome and get in the right direction.
So it's crazy because I was 28 years old by the time I actually got freed from drugs, but I started at 7. So by the time I hit 28, 75% of my life had been addicted to drugs. And the best part about it was, it happened as a huge miracle in my life. I was saved by God's grace. And after surrendering to that, I have literally been able to spend the last 13 years of my life working on myself, overcoming all of the different things and the struggles that I've had, and now being able to turn around and share it all.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story. And for those of you tuning in, we're going to put up a graphic. If you want to see the entire interview on the Intrepidity podcast with Buddhakai, the link is right here for Sparta Media Group, YouTube and Facebook and our other social media channels. It really is just an incredibly beautiful story of overcoming. I mean, just think about that. 7 years old, you became addicted to drugs, and to see you overcome that and where you are now, it's just congratulations congratulations on that. I'm so excited for it. It's a beautiful story. Tell us a little bit about your new music video and when it's coming out, where people are going to be able to see it. I'm super excited for it because I got to see a sneak peek and it's incredible.
Right. This one is a song called No Regrets. The music video is coming out on my birthday, which is May 13th, 1:30, premiering on YouTube. Make sure to check that out. That thing is going to be amazing. And shout out to Sparta Media Group and Jesse Rarick for putting that thing together.
Yeah, he's extremely talented. He deals with all of our crazy ideas like we talked about. Hey, the SMG News Network was, a few minute idea at 3 a.m. that's now coming to life. So
perfect.
I'm really excited about that. But in all seriousness, all the negativity that goes out there just becomes depressing and down. I want you to share with people what you're doing in these times of COVID to give back to the community and to just keep life moving forward.
Well, actually, that's crazy that you asked that because me and my wife are starting a company. We just finally named it, and it's going to be named after her initials. The company is called JBQ, and the concept or the tagline behind it is just because. And what we're going to do is we are going to raise funds for orphanages in third world countries and stuff like that, and be able to manage their social media as well as siphoning the money so that there's not too much going as an influx, and then creating a capability where we partner up with other groups that could help create self-sustainability. So instead of, hiding and holding on to money, this time we're actually going to give. We're going to realize what we really should be investing in, and it's other people, and it's caring for those people. So.
Yeah, that's true. And that's a big part of Sparta is giving back to our community.
I love that part of it.
That's what we love about it. It's a very important, it's part of our culture,
right.
Is that we want to give back. Even in tough times, it's even more imperative that we continue to, give back. How did you guys come to that idea that you wanted to serve orphanages and things like that? Like, what's the passion behind that?
So a lot of my fans are from all over the world. And so I've come to realize that there's so many different struggles. Like, we have it a lot easier than most people in a lot of these third world countries. And since my social media platform puts me on a worldwide basis, I've gotten to meet a lot of people that are running orphanages and stuff like that. And obviously I've been able to donate for them. But the craziest thing is this is an ongoing need. You know what I mean? It's not something where if you give them $100 today, it'll last them maybe 2 weeks. But what happens after that 2 weeks? There's no sustainability there. And how some of us live check to check, or some of us are struggling and everything like that. Man, they live moment by moment. And literally the next day, somebody can die of hunger. Now, true, we face that in our homelessness population and stuff like that here today too. So it's not just going to be limited to third world countries. But this is where my heart was drawn to because of my social media presence worldwide and stuff like that, and the different things that I'm touching upon, and being able to meet some of these people that are running orphanages. It's a heartbreaker when you think about these kids that can't eat. I mean, I have a 2-year-old daughter. The concept of her not eating would just screw me. I mean, it would screw me up.
Yeah, that's powerful. It's tough. Kind of same thing for us. We go down and feed the homeless, especially like on Christmas Eve. And a couple of years ago, it really hit us hard because I saw a lot of kids and women out there. And that's the part where you're just like, oh my God, like I have 3 little girls, like I couldn't imagine seeing that. And the feeling is so great to see the people out there giving. And I think that people are like, why aren't people only giving in tough times or around the holidays? And that's not true. A lot of people I know are out there doing a lot of stuff, including ourselves. Just because it's not on social media and not on TV doesn't mean it's happening. It just becomes a little more glorified, which, is one of those things where I think it's good because it inspires other people to go out there and give as well. And so that is the whole purpose behind, this whole thing is we want to encourage and inspire more people to get out there to give, share more inspiring stories, like yourself. With everything kind of shut down right now, us both being in the entertainment industry a little bit, what's your pivot? What are you guys doing to still stay relevant in your entertainment business?
Shooting music videos at 6 feet apart and using drones. Thank you, Jesse. And just really putting out positive music. It's what we need. I mean, everything in COVID is just helping us to really realize what's out there. And I know for a lot of people out there that don't have money for food and don't have money for this and are really going hungry and are struggling, can't pay. Man, this is a tough time. I get it. But this could be an opportunity that you could literally use to figure out who you want to be, what you are, your purpose, and really do something different in life. Because if you're going to go just right back to the same normal that you had before, then another thing like this could literally control your life. And instead of allowing the government, society, and outside forces to be able to control your life, it's time to take control of your own life and really figure out what your passion is, live that out, and just live a different life from a different perspective.
That's beautiful. How can people follow you, Bernard?
Follow me on Instagram at Buddhakai13. That's the @ BUDDHAKAI 13.
That's awesome. Thank you for being a guest today. I'm so excited to continue. We're going to take a small break, but when we come back, we're going to get with Todd Romero, and he's going to highlight the top moments from the NFL draft.
Here at Arapahoe Kia, the safety of our customers, staff, and community are our top priority. We wish to make your car buying experience as easy and comfortable as possible. Our online sales specialists and in-store staff are standing by to help you with all your auto needs. Our services will continue to operate, and we will remain open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Please call or email with any questions or concerns that you may have. Visit us at coloradokia.com today. Browse through our inventory from the safety of your own home. Our website is a helpful resource for shopping and researching vehicles. You can search through our entire inventory, whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle. At coloradokia.com, you can also find service and parts information, as well as being able to communicate directly with the dealership. We will also continue to offer vehicle pickup and delivery services. No matter which department you are looking to reach, we have staff available to answer your questions and assist with your needs. You can connect with a member of our team by phone, email, or through our website. Please don't hesitate to reach out, as we remain dedicated to serving you for all your automotive needs throughout this challenging time. Hello everyone, Todd Romero for the SMG News Network. I hope everybody is getting through these times as best they can. Hopefully we're approaching the end, or at least somewhat getting back to normal. But as we get started here, one of the things we wanted to do was focus on positive sports stories out there to kind of get you ready for when the return of sports comes. And I tell you, I'm ready for it for sure, but it doesn't take too long to find a positive story when talking about the 2020 Denver Broncos draft. And we'll focus on the first two picks of the draft. In the first round, with the 15th overall pick, the Broncos selected Jerry Jeudy from Alabama. It is the first time General Manager John Elway has selected a player from Alabama, not because he doesn't like picking players from the SEC or Alabama, but because it just hasn't fallen that way. But in Jerry Jeudy, the Broncos get a Biletnikoff winner. He comes out after his junior year. He is by far what experts say is the best route runner among all the receivers coming in. He should make an immediate impact. And the guy was raised the right way. And one of the positive things about him is when he was raised, he had a younger sister, Aaliyah, who, when she was born with a condition where she got congested, had to wear oxygen. They gave her a 10% chance to live, and she lived for 7 years, but it did pass away. And when she passed away, he promised her that as she will always be looking down upon him, that he'll do a great job going forward. He'll make his mark in the NFL and he'll take care of his family. So he plays with his little sister on his mind at all times. He refers to her a lot. And it's something that's very endearing to a new player coming into the NFL that has that to draw upon. This is a kid that not only was raised fairly poor, without a father, and also with a sister that passed away. He's gone through tough times in his life. And I think that bodes well when you get to the level of the NFL and you're going against all these elite athletes. A lot of guys that have had everything go smooth for them, sometimes when the competition level and things get tough, they have a hard time kind of getting over that hump. And I think because of some of the things he's been through, the death of his sister, helping out a mom that was raised poor, those things are going to toughen him up. And with the skills and attributes he brings to the Broncos, he'll make an immediate impact. In the second round, the Broncos went for KJ Hamler. And this is a great story. This is a guy, a 5'9" receiver out of Penn State that is lightning quick. He didn't run the 40 at the combine because he had a hamstring issue, but those that have timed him before have timed him at 4.26 seconds in the 40-yard dash. This guy brings instant speed to the Broncos, and one of the great things about him, too, he's kind of got a chip on his shoulder because of his size. He's been doubted for his whole life, and he brings that can-do attitude in that he can't wait to get on the field. One of the concerns about him is he had a lot of drops. He dropped 9 balls at Penn State his senior year. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it is when you factor in percentages. And they are mostly when he was turning upfield. He's got to watch that ball in because he's got enough speed, and he makes the tough catches that once he settles down a little bit, takes his time, he will continue to evaluate and continue to evolve as a receiver. And now there's 2 receivers that the Broncos have in Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler. Not only do they have great athletes, great people who have been through a lot, but they're guys with chips on their shoulders, something to prove, and have been through tough times. So I think the Broncos not only got 2 great receivers, but also 2 guys that will be great locker room guys that have been through the struggles that will make them better players as they go forward. Moving on to MMA, I think the UFC and Dana White are not only going to set the bar for contact sports, but really for all sports. They have 3 events coming up. Obviously, this past weekend was an event, but they have 2 more events coming up in a short matter of time. And I think the sports world is really going to look upon Dana White and the UFC. And if they have great success here, there's no outbreak of coronavirus and anything like that, then other sports will start coming. NASCAR starts on the 17th of the month, also with no fans. But as these sporting events begin to start going and they're ran in a manner that it's safe, the event goes off, they're able to televise, the athletes themselves are safe, I think what it's going to do, not only will businesses and other sports look at this, but the entire United States and the world may look at this as how to go forward, what safeguards were put in place. Locally, Sparta Combat League, one of the things we've been unable to do is bring the fights to you because of this coronavirus. And right now can't have gatherings over 10 people. And as time goes on and restrictions loosen, people want to get back to what they do. And the fighters in this area, in this region, want to get back to fighting for Sparta Combat League. And by getting back and gets the product going, gets the economy back going. And I think it's all that people can look at and learn and glean something from everything that gets televised or every sporting event that goes forward of how to do it safely going on. So I think the UFC and Dana White, their just focus is right on the sports world right now. But I think bigger corporations and companies and advertisers are all going to be looking at these events coming up in the next month, finding out, did they do it without a hitch? What was put in place for them to be successful? And if all those things come to be, I think that sports is going to return sooner than later. And that is good news for all of us.
What's up, fight fans? This is Big Mo at the Sparta Media Group studios, and this is Sparta's Combat Report. In case you guys didn't know, sports are starting to come back. Even with the world somewhat on hiatus, combat sports is still buzzing like crazy. And we begin in the world of boxing, where it turns out Iron Mike Tyson is getting ready to make his comeback to the sport that he once dominated. At 53 years old, Mike Tyson is back in the gym, back working with mitts, and he looks actually incredible. And that actually terrifies me almost in a way, that he's still got the strength and speed that won him the world titles back in the 90s and early 2000s. Mike Tyson's opponent currently has not been decided, but a couple rumors have started to circulate. First is Shannon the Cannon Briggs, who's currently with Bare Knuckle FC. And originally it was said that Mike Tyson was going to fight Bare Knuckle. That news story has not been confirmed, but it has not been unconfirmed that he would fight Shannon Briggs. And the other name that's coming out is Evander Holyfield. That's right, the guy that Mike Tyson actually bit all those years ago also said that he wants to make a comeback. And that would make for a very, very interesting renewal of their once great rivalry. Live sports are back. UFC 249 was this past weekend, and it was an incredible card from start to finish. There are so many different fights that I want to touch on, but we're actually going to pick up right in the main card, actually with the Francis Ngannou versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik fight. These were two very, very scary men, probably the two scariest people in combat sports that were finally slated to fight, and fight they did. And it lasted, well, it didn't at all, actually. The first strike that Francis Ngannou landed was a massive hook after this just flurry barrage charge, and he landed it, and Rozenstruik was unconscious upon contact, and that was basically it. Very, very quick fight. And this makes it very interesting for Francis Ngannou, a guy that had a title shot a couple years ago against Stipe Miocic. He still was very green to the sport, and Stipe, obviously being a veteran, kind of just took him apart on the ground, and really it wasn't that much of a challenge for Stipe. But Francis clearly has fixed a lot of parts of his games. He's on, I believe, a 4-fight win streak now, and he's back in the title contention picture. Obviously, Daniel Cormier wants his rematch against Stipe, and he's going to get it. Right now, Stipe is dedicating his time to being on the front lines, as he is a volunteer firefighter, as is when he's not in the cage. So whoever wins the Cormier-Stipe fight likely will have to face Francis Ngannou. UFC 249's co-main event featured Henry Cejudo versus Dominick Cruz. Henry Cejudo, Triple C as he's called, is not only a 2-weight division UFC champion, but also an Olympic gold medalist. And he showed why he is a combat sports champion against Mr. Cruz. Cruz, obviously a veteran, a legend in the sport, but Henry Cejudo was too much for him. Ended up finishing the fight, retained his belt, and then actually at the end of the show, at the end of the fight, retired. Henry Cejudo's 33 years old, still got some years on him for sure, but he decided he wanted to go out on top. Who knows whether or not this is 100% serious. As you guys remember, Conor McGregor actually retired and then came back. So me personally, I don't think Henry Cejudo's done, but only time will tell. And then in the main event, I am still speechless over it. Tony Ferguson, El Cucuy, versus Justin the Highlight Gaethje. Now, obviously, Tony was scheduled to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov. It was going to be the 5th time that they attempted to have this fight, and I'm officially just deciding that it was cursed. Before, for injuries and dropouts, the fight never happened, and obviously because of the coronavirus, Khabib couldn't leave the nation of Russia. So Justin Gaethje chose to step in, and they got after it. And it was one of the most violent, entertaining fights I've ever seen. Justin Gaethje looked incredibly sharp, was landing some great strikes on Tony Ferguson, strikes that would knock out normal people. Like, I thought I was going to get knocked out just watching the fight. The fact that El Cucuy was able to maintain and finish the fight, props to Tony Ferguson, but Justin Gaethje ended up getting the win. Referee stopped at TKO. Justin Gaethje is now the interim UFC lightweight champion. Now, this makes things in the world of combat sports very interesting because people still want to see Tony and Khabib go at it at some point. I would, just to see how Khabib's wrestling would go against Tony's crazy ground game, which we didn't get to see last night against Justin Gaethje. They stayed on their feet the whole time. So Tony's name, I don't think, is out of the lightweight picture. But obviously now Justin Gaethje is someone that deserves, obviously, and he's going to get it, the full-fledged title shot against Khabib. In fact, when Justin won the belt last night, the interim belt, he took it off and he said he didn't want it. They said, "Why'd you do that?" He goes, "That's not the real belt." So clearly Gaethje knows who he's going to get next. It's going to be Khabib. It's going to be very interesting to watch that fight. But congrats to Justin Gaethje. He proved that he has now cemented himself in the lightweight division. He is really kind of sharing the top of it now with Khabib Nurmagomedov. That's obviously the fight to make now. And again, congratulations to Justin Gaethje. He's a huge supporter of what we do here at Sparta Sports and Entertainment and Sparta Media Group. He's always at the fights. Congratulations, Justin. I'd love to see you with the belt sometime, and I look forward to seeing your fight against Khabib. Now, the last name that's still involved with the lightweight picture is the notorious Conor McGregor. That's someone whose name will always be circulating in the world of UFC news. Obviously, he is the star attraction. But now with Tony losing to Gaethje now being thrust in the lightweight championship picture, it looks like Conor's not going to get his shot against Khabib, at least for the near future. Now, that makes things very interesting, especially because Conor has been rumored to want to fight up at 170 again. Obviously, he beat Cowboy Cerrone, and now does he want to fight Kamaru Usman and get a shot at the welterweight belt? Does he want to fight a Jorge Masvidal for the BMF belt? Both of those have been in the works recently and discussed. But what's very interesting is Conor's potential return to the boxing ring, and one name that is circulating is Paulie Malignaggi. Now, for the users that you don't know, when Conor McGregor was training to fight Floyd Mayweather, he had gotten Paulie Malignaggi to be a sparring partner. And a lot of videos surfaced of Conor landing some strikes on Paulie Malignaggi and actually knocking him down. It's unclear as to what exactly happened in the video, but something is clear. And that's that Paulie Malignaggi was not happy about the video. And he's been very outspoken that the video was cut in a certain way to make McGregor look good. The full video is not out there. The full video would actually show, according to Paulie, beating up Conor a little bit and exposing Conor. Now, here's the thing. This is my opinion on it. I don't care who won the sparring bout at this point. It's water under the bridge. I really don't care who won because I want to see this fight happen. This fight needs to happen. Look, I've explained that the UFC has now gotten a little bit more complex for Conor. Not sure really when he's going to get his shot at Khabib again. Masvidal wants to fight Usman for the title. It's just a lot of gray area for Conor. It makes sense for him to get back in the boxing ring. Now, Manny Pacquiao has been a name that's been brought up. Not 100% sure if that's going to happen. But Paulie Malignaggi, a former world champion, wants to fight Conor McGregor. There is bad blood there, and that always makes for a great fight. A personal rivalry, a personal hatred where they don't like each other. And not only do they not like each other, the teams don't like each other. Remember Artem Lobov fought Paulie Malignaggi for Bare Knuckle FC back last year. And at the weigh-ins, Artem Lobov actually got into it with Paulie's team, specifically someone named Adam Byrne, who's a MMA fighter who does not like Artem Lobov. He's a supporter of Paulie Malignaggi. So the hatred on the teams is there. So when you take into account that Conor wants to get back in the boxing ring, Conor wants to fight a quality boxer, which Paulie Malignaggi is. He's a former world champion. And because of the fact that they don't like each other, the teams don't like each other, there's plenty of bad blood recorded, and they fought in a sparring match before, it just makes sense. So this is my take on it. I don't care who won the sparring match. I want to see the fight. This fight needs to happen. Paulie Malignaggi versus Conor McGregor, I'd love to see it. I would definitely buy it. Well, sports are back. At least they're starting to come back. Combat sports, at least. And congratulations to the UFC for leading the charge. It was a phenomenal show. I'm excited to see a lot more. Sparta is going to be coming back as well. Obviously, you probably saw Jeff's new proposal that they're putting out about drive-in fights. But don't worry, guys. Sports are going to come back stronger than ever. Sparta is going to be back stronger than ever, and we're very excited to be back in the ring. But for now, this has been the Sparta Combat Report. I'm Big Mo. I'll be with you guys soon.
Here at Larry H. Miller Chrysler Dodge Ram Fiat Denver, we pride ourselves on being a part of this amazing community. We want to show our support by getting Denver back on the road with these incredible deals. Drive away in an all-new 2020 Ram 1500 Bighorn for just $249 a month. Or take home a 2019 Dodge Journey for just $14,999. We appreciate everyone out there who's keeping our country moving forward, and we want to show our support by keeping you safe while you do it. Shop online at drivenbydenver.com.
Good evening, everybody. Jeff Cisneros here with the Sparta Brands, and I want to take a brief moment to talk to you a little bit about the new ideas that we have coming up that are about to launch. You know, with COVID, it's really shut down operation on the fight side for Sparta Sports and Entertainment and Airtight Boxing because of the social distancing guidelines. Now, please keep in mind, this is very preliminary right here, but this is the proposal that went into the state commission, and we're waiting on approval. So what you'll see here in the graphic is the screen will be set up just like it. Everybody will pull in, drive in style as normal, but 10 feet in front of the screen, you'll see either the MMA cage or the ring or possibly both, depending on how the viewing aspect works from that end. So what people will be able to do is they'll come in, they'll pay admission, they'll park their car, and they can watch the fights live. And they will also be able to have the giant screen there. And, you know, if your people still want to watch from home, we'll still have the pay-per-view streaming options as well. So I think that this is going to be a very innovative, unique way for us to get the ball moving on fights, especially for the fighters. I know a lot of you guys are out there training hard, you're itching. We don't have any other options. So if this gets approved, this is going to be a really cool thing. And again, we've talked to multiple venues, multiple cities that love this idea, and they are hoping that this gets approved because we would want to launch this in June or July and hopefully carry it through, you know, the entire summer months where it's warm. If you go back up to this graphic and you see, what you'll see over here to the left of the cage in the ring and to the right are multiple tents. Now those tents are going to be for the fighters. It's so that we can maintain social distancing guidelines, we can keep them sanitary, and we can keep everybody apart. We may have to start with just 4 or 5 fights per card to kind of see how this works, make sure that, you know, the safety is not an issue. Once you fight fighters, you'll have to exit from the tent. You can get your stuff and go back into a vehicle. You know, some of the lots that we're looking at are going to hold anywhere between 250 and 500 cars. So it's not going to be the typical, mass arena experience that we're used to. But I think this is a very unique and innovative way to get it going. And so that I'm very excited for. And we're just waiting on approval. And we're going to take it to other states as well if we can't get approval here. And we're going to see what else we can come up with. So with that being done, the next part of the vision is that we also want to carry this experience over into the drive-in country music aspect. So we think that we can still have a concert. If you look at the graphic, basically kind of the same thing. You have a stage in front, all your lighting, and then above it a giant screen that everybody can come in and enjoy, drive-in style. And what would be really fun about this is, you have a truck, you can back it in, you can set up comfortably and still kind of have that outside experience. So these are some things that we're working on right now. And like I said, the fight's very preliminary. We need a lot of approval to get this going, but we would love to have your support in it, and we will keep you updated as soon as possible on that. So with all that being said, guys, I'm very excited to keep working very hard with our team to keep innovating new opportunities to get everything back and moving for Sparta and also all the athletes. We appreciate all your support, and I look forward to seeing you soon. What's up, guys? This is Jeff here with Sparta Media Group, and I wanted to take a brief moment to talk about all the exciting products that we offer here at Sparta Media Group. Whether you're a small business or a large business and beyond, we offer it all. We are your one-stop shop for promotional items. We build video content. We build YouTube pre-roll. We do graphic design. We do screen printing and t-shirts. We wrap vehicles. We create vinyl banners, direct to mailers, and business cards, and so much more. To learn a little bit about Sparta MG, click the link below and follow me.